create a sprite animation in this tutorial. So there's one more thing we need to do. We have our outlets that we connected. We connected our label and our IB action with the button. I wanted to connect this as well, this image, because we're going to, when the animation starts, we're going to get rid of that image, and then we're going to show a new image to the screen eventually. So right now we're going to click on our little assistant here, and we're going to hold down the control key and drag and let that pop up, and we're going to call this coin, because eventually this is where we're going to display our coin, heads or tails, right? So let's hit connect. So that outlet is made. We can get out of the assistant editor, and we'll actually go into the M file, the coin controller M file, and we're going to synthesize that as well. So coin, right? Okay, so next we're going to create another variable right in between the end of our interface and before the beginning of our implementation, and we're going to make this UI image view. And much like our coin is a UI image view, but we're going to make a custom one that's not on the view controller yet. So this is we're making one programmatically instead of on the storyboard, right? And this we're going to use to contain the image of our sprite. So right now we'll just call this, we'll call it IMG, short for image and view, and then just semicolon there. All right, so we'll be calling this momentarily. I have these files that we're going to use. I'll make them available as well in a zip file. Again, just found these online, but it's a sprite. It's about 14 different images of a coin being flipped. Okay. If you wanted to do this right, you would probably make your own and take your time and make sure you got it right. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to grab these over and drop them in our supporting files folder. Make sure that copy items is checked, and go with the other defaults. Should be good, and hit finish. And I have my images in here. So next we're going to create our animation in the IB action here. So last time we did this, these calculations here, just as an example of how some variables work. We're going to get rid of that now, though. We don't need that for this. So the first thing we're going to do, though, is get rid of our coin. We don't need the coin image to show anymore. So the little hand flipping, right? So we're going to say coin dot hidden equals all uppercase true. Basically what that does is it removes that this image that's right here from the screen, and now we're going to create our animation. I'm gonna drag some code over here, and then I'll go over it in a second. Again, this will be made available to you, so you don't have to write all this down. But basically what we have here is an array, and an array is a collection of variables. So in this case, we're creating an array that's going to hold UI image variables. So we're putting all of these images into one array, which we're going to run through as this animation protocol, which is pretty handy. And if you see, just so you guys see this, if you hold down the command key, any of these variables can be clicked on, and you can get more information. So this takes you to the animated images interface, where you can see all the different methods that you can use with it. That's kind of a nice feature if you want to learn more about something. You just hold down the command key and kind of click on them to go and see the actual class associated with it. So anyway, let's go over this. So we set our array. This is how you kind of set an array. This is allocating the memory for it. And then we're going to draw it to the screen. So we're associating this image view. We're associating an area of the screen. This is going to make a rectangle where this image view is going to be displayed. And how this works, this is the X and Y variables, and then this is 150 by 130, kind of over and down from that starting point. Then we actually have the animated images. We're associating that image with the animated images method, and we're going to say, hey, what are we going to use for this animated images? We're going to use this image array, which we just created up here. And then we're going to specify the duration of the animation, so it's going to last 1 second. That's what that's saying. And then this is just saying the content mode is going to start at the bottom left, which is pretty standard for this. And then we're going to add this view, add this as a subview to our current view. So basically that's going to put the image view on the screen. And then right here it just starts the animation. Okay, and the last line here says after 3 seconds, after a 3-second delay, go ahead and call this method. We haven't created this method yet, but basically that method is going to contain the code to stop this animation. So it'll keep on going until we specify it should stop. So let's create that method real quick. So we're going to go right out of the IB action. We're going to create our own method. You do that by doing a little dash, and then in parentheses we're going to say void because we're not returning anything. We'll get into that later, how you can return something in a method. And we're going to say stop the animation, just as we had specified up above. And you do an open curly brackets, and you just press enter, and it creates the closed bracket there. And what we want to put inside of this is a very simple line that's just going to be square bracket, image view, and stop animating. The end there, right? And so that's going to stop the animation. And we could even at this point say, you know what, coin.hidden equals false, so we can actually show that to the screen now. So let's see what happens when we run this. All right, so we have 3 seconds of the animation, then it goes back to our image. All right, so next time I'm going to show you how we can actually, we flip the coin, and then we're going to actually do some random calculations to decide whether we should display a head or tails to the screen.